Hey everybody, I just wanted to jump on here real quick and do a quick little nugget of the day. And a few mornings ago in prayer, I got a download specifically about the fruit of the Spirit, self-control. Now in Galatians 5, there are 9 fruits of the Spirit, and the last one listed is self-control. And I want to specifically zero in on a particular subject of self-control, and that is in financial matters. Now, believe you me, I am not pointing fingers because I'd have 3 pointing back at me. And, the Lord has been helping me along for the last few years, and I just want to submit to you some of the things that I feel like He's downloading to me. And this is a common issue among us all. And there's been a lot of emphasis in the church on teaching on the tithe and the offering and all of that. And I'm telling you, I'm a huge believer in that. I believe in that. I believe in paying the tithes, the first 10%, and I believe in giving offerings up and above that for whatever God lays on your heart to give to. But I think pretty much the teaching has stopped there. And people haven't really been taught what to do with what's left over to live on, how to really honor what God has placed in their hand for them to live on. And see, that word honor, if I handed you something, let's say I put $10,000 in your hand and you just went out and you just willy-nilly just went out to eat every night and maybe upgraded your car or did all these crazy things. Well, you're not honoring that very well. You're kind of being wasteful. And I believe that is a real issue in the world especially, but even in the church. So God's laid on my heart about the fruit of the Spirit, self-control and finances is what will create a surplus. And it's also about trusting Him to bless you with things and trusting His timing. Because there's really nothing wrong with you getting a new car, especially if you need a new car. But sometimes we just don't want to wait. So we just go out and we upgrade our car and we get a $600 or $700 payment and we call it a blessing from God. Okay. Well, there's a better way to live than that. So what does the self-control mean in the Bible? I looked it up in the concordance. Some Bible translations call it temperance, and some are listed as self-control. Mine says self-control, but here's what it means. It's moderation, it's avoiding indulgence, and it's just not living excessively in pleasure. Excessively. Wow. That's a mouthful. So it's not, God doesn't care if we go out to eat. God doesn't care if we upgrade our car. I really believe that. But when we create debt and we live above our means and we just do these things because we don't want to wait, that's when it gets into problems. And see, just because we can do something doesn't mean we should do it, right? So let's just say you work real hard and you're blessed financially, you give your tithes, you give your offerings, and God's been really good to you, and you could live here. You could live up here. But temperance or self-control would say, why don't you take it down a couple notches? And then you're creating a surplus between where you could be and where you're choosing to be. And then in this gap right here is the money to have emergency funds, to have investments, to have kids' college funds, to have things for the future, the vacation you want to take next year. That's all created in that surplus. And then if you create a surplus of your own money, then you do not have to rely on debt in the future. So I just want to bless y'all today. If I'm stepping on toes, I just want to say I'm sorry. But it kind of stepped on my toes when I heard it. We need to honor our money. We need to really honor it and really look at it like God is blessing me with that. and I want to make wise choices, and I want to learn to wait on His timing for blessings. And you know, a real quick little thing. Have you ever had somebody, Christmas is coming up, have you ever had somebody you have to buy for in your family and you're like, what do I get that person? They have everything, or they're so hard to buy for, or, you know, I have people in my family that I'm like, what do you get them? Because they just go out and get their own stuff. You know, they're always getting their own stuff. So what's left for you to get them? Well, you know, I kind of think God might think that about us, because if we're constantly going out and constantly just getting everything we want, you know, what if you wanted a particular thing and you just waited, and then 2 or 3 weeks later you found it on clearance sale for half what it was when you initially wanted to go out and get it? See, there's a little blessing. Or what if somebody just come up and handed you that thing, that gadget, that shirt, that whatever? There's all kinds of scenarios, but we don't have to create debt, and we don't have to be rash and live an uncontrolled life. We can live in the fruit of the Spirit of self-control, and we can create a surplus, and we can watch God bless us. So I love you guys. I hope this blessed you. I hope it's helped in some way. Please feel free to share if something I said resonates, and I love you guys. Have a great rest of the day.